Mary Backstage, Noble Wife. The story of America's favorite family of the Footlights and of their fight for security and happiness against the concrete heart of Broadway. Today, we leave Milan to return to Skunk Haven and the Backstage summer home where we see Harry Jr. and Neil, his college roommate, and we hear...
Well, gosh, Harry Jr., kind of lonely around here without your parents and the next-door neighbor.
They've gone to Italy, you say, to appear in the opera at Milan?
Yeah.
Wow, that's one of the biggest things they've ever done in their career.
Yeah, that must be tough. I was talking with some of the fellas at school about opera. You know, that must be the toughest thing in the arts to do.
Oh, yeah, to sing and act at the same time and move around the stage.
Memorize all those songs and notes and...
I didn't even know either one of them could sing at all, much less opera. I wonder when they
Well, I
learned
know the neighbor could.
Oh, when they were practicing, probably.
Yeah,
See, I haven't been home here for almost a year, and when I came home and found them gone, the first thing I did was call the House of Toast. How are things going over there?
At the House of Toast?
Selling a lot of the white stuff?
Well, it's not white. It's toasty brown.
Oh, right, yeah.
Is
it still a big success? It was, Neil.
Well, I don't know. It's tapering off. There's other fast food places in the neighborhood now that's siphoning off some of the business.
Well, that happens anywhere. Where you get one fast food thing springing up, you got a bunch of them.
Right.
Well, sit down. There's no sense of us standing up here talking.
No, that's right.
I'll answer the phone.
Yeah, I was going to suggest that.
Hello, Harry Backstage Jr. speaking from the Backstage Summer Home in Skunk Haven. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right. It's Mr. Trevelyan.
Who's he?
He's the auctioneer downtown Skunk Haven. Yes, Mr. Trevelyan.
Oh, what do you want him?
Well, when could you come over to look it over? By that I mean, could you make an estimate, say, tomorrow? Yeah. Sure, I'll be here, right, 10 o'clock. Make it 11. I probably will sleep late. Okay, sir. Goodbye.
What did you want to see Mr. Trevelyan for?
Well, I figured with my parents opening in an opera in Italy, they won't be back for a long time, so this would be as good a time as any to auction off the furniture.
You mean, oh, you gotta be kidding. You mean the furniture in the house here?
Right, Neil, I got a lot of gambling debts I've run up over the past year, and I gotta square them away or I'm in real trouble.
Yeah, but suppose the opera's a flop and they come right straight back home. What then?
There's no way that opera can be a flop. No way in the world. And so, Harry Jr. decides to auction the furniture at the Backstage home while Mary and Harry are in Italy. You want to be here tomorrow when we'll hear Calvin say,
"Well, look what the critics say."
That's tomorrow in the next exciting episode of Mary Backstage, Noble Wife. Word Carr speaking. Next, Mary Backstage, Noble Wife. The story of America's favorite family of the Footlights and of their fight for security and happiness against the concrete heart of Broadway. After spending their first night in Genoa, our friends left the following morning by train for Milan, where we see them now in their suite at the Hotel Raphael. Mary, Harry, Pop, and Calvin are discussing the suite at the hotel.
Say, Greg is over at the other end of the room making a phone call.
Did you ever see a living room as big as this in any hotel before?
Isn't it? Such huge furniture, the bed. My goodness, look at the size of that.
Oh, this is a ritzy hotel he's booked us into.
Real walk-in closets, too, I'm telling you.
Kind of a coincidence. It's named the same as the one in Genoa, Raphael. Yeah, I noticed that.
Calling? Yes.
I hear Greg in there now. He's probably getting in touch with...
expecting a call from me.
Getting in touch with the Opera House.
But would you have him call me here?
When are you supposed to open, Harry? Do you know? I don't know. I don't know. He's made all the arrangements. We're just going along with him. Whatever he... What is it, Greg?
He's going to call me back.
Oh, good.
He was on another line.
That was the impresario at the opera, was it?
That's right. Say, boy, what a view. What
Isn't
a
it?
big city this is.
Oh, I hope we'll have time to take a tour of the city and see some of the sights.
It wouldn't be worthwhile coming all the way over here if we don't get to take a tour.
No.
When is that opera supposed to start, anyway?
Yeah, when are we supposed to open, Greg?
Well, I gave them 2 dates. April 2 is one, and a little later in April.
Do you know which opera we're going to appear in? Wouldn't be Cosi fan tutte, would it?
Gee, I forgot to ask him.
Well, that's something you should ask the impresario next time you call, Mr. Marlowe.
Yes, I'll do that. It could be Il Trittico by Puccini.
Well, that would be good, too. They're all Greek to me. Did you hear that? You heard that, Barry, huh?
It's all Greek to you.
Well,
that's funny.
We're going to have to do some heavy studying before we take the stage at La Scala, that's for sure.
Am I going to sing, Mr. Morrow, do you know?
Yeah, do you have plans for Calvin?
I don't know. I don't know what their plans are for you, Calvin. Maybe you'll just be the traditional spear carrier. I don't know.
What's that you've been studying there, Calvin?
Oh, this is room service menu.
Oh, good.
Let me see. Anything here that you might like? Percatelli, vermicelli, could have mazzani.
How about the ziti?
Linguini, the ziti, tubatini.
What?
Tubatini.
Tubatini?
Alcini pepe. Rigatoni.
I know what that is.
How about fusilli?
That's one I haven't heard of before.
How about cavatelli?
How about that?
Yes, how about... Does it have on there Mostargioli Rigati? Let me see. Yeah, it has Mostargioli Rigati. Let's call down and have one order of each.
Good idea. So our friends begin to make themselves comfortable at the Hotel Raphael in Milan. Tomorrow they'll take a tour of the local sites and we'll hear Calvin say,
well, why don't you try some of this tubatini and then I'll try some of the mazzani.
That's tomorrow in the next exciting episode of Mary Backstage Noble Wife. Word Carr speaking. It's Chester Hasbrook Frisbee. Haven't seen you for a long time, Chet.
Oh, we've been busy trying to get some background for our Italian trip.
Did you see in the
having
paper?
a little difficulty finding, no.
In the paper yesterday that the real La Scala Opera Company has had to cancel its tour to this country because of financial problems in Italy?
Oh, I see some of your listeners are attributing it to your backstage episodes.
Yeah, I don't know. How do you feel
I don't
about
think
that?
that's fair. I don't think we had anything to do with it. I really don't.
It is kind of a far-fetched storyline to have Mary and Harry singing opera, which they've never done before.
Well, the problem I'm running into, is finding actors who speak Italian.
Well,
and that is developing into a major problem.
None of the regulars do, huh?
I'm thinking now of flying the backstages back to New York tonight.
Oh, well,
if I just can't find an actor who can speak Italian.
Well, when would that happen in regard to the show itself? I mean, they've done the episode for today, right?
I'd have them out of there tomorrow if I
They're not really there, right?
Of course they're not there.
Well,
but if I can't find an actor who speaks Italian, neither you nor your partner do that.
No.
It's a problem that the writer has to face each day.
It's almost time for you to be casting off that great coat that's a symbol of you, isn't it?
Well, not yet.
Next, Mary Backstage Noble Wife. The story of America's favorite family of the Footlights and of their fight for security and happiness against the concrete heart of Broadway. While Greg Marlowe is making a business call on the manager of La Scala Opera House, Mary, Harry, Calvin, and Pop have decided to take a sightseeing tour of Milan. And as we join them now, they're boarding a bus in front of the Hotel Raphael, and we hear...
Go right in, Mary. Thank you.
Go ahead, Calvin. Pop.
Okay. Nice big bus, isn't it?
Yes, and we've got it pretty much to ourselves, too.
Yeah.
There don't seem to be too many people coming aboard.
Guess this isn't the tourist season in Milan, right?
Well, that's very possible. That's right. I guess it's winter here like it is anywhere else.
We're here just to sing in the opera, sir, That's what we're going to do.
Yes, we're going to star Mary, my wife here, and myself.
First time I've ever sung at the opera, and I'm just scared to death about it.
Well,
it's at La Scala. Have you heard of it? I suppose you have, yes.
That's nice. Yes, it is beautiful. Will we see that on the trip, will we?
Yes.
Oh,
I'm
good.
sure we will.
I hope we start soon. I can't wait to see this town. Heard so much about it.
Well, I'm all set.
Yeah, me too.
Let's get going, driver. All right, driver, let's go. Yes. All right, sir.
No, he started.
He doesn't know too much English, I guess.
Well,
yes.
Are you going to give the lecture in English, driver?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, very good.
Here we go.
Just sit back and relax now.
Boy, what a beautiful day we've got for this, too. The sky is blue, the air is crisp.
I always thought that these tour buses went a little slower than this.
Yes.
It's hard to see anything.
Oh, it is going terribly fast.
We're going to see Milan in about 15 seconds.
He probably just wants...
Ladies and gentlemen, step lively to the tour bus of Milan, one of the greatest cities of Italy.
I guess he just wants to get to the first point of interest, probably, and that's why he's
It's
going.
the second largest, and you can see it from the plain of Lombardy, 80 miles northeast of Lombardy. And then we have a north of Santa Maria della Grazia.
Can you slow down a
Stands
little?
right in the center of Milan.
Yes.
Driver, can you slow down a little bit so we can see this
Yes.
plaza here, whatever? I don't know whether I'm going to...
And we go down further where it shows, it has a refractory of Leonardo da Vinci's Last Supper. And last,
Sightseeing.
we can't forget this, almost Maurice the Greater, 1497-1506, the principal Securian building.
What was that about this? Watch it.
Boy, these people are wild drivers here. I'll say
Yeah,
that.
what about that 1506? Hey, look now.
Maybe he'll give us a
And
pamphlet
now,
at the end of the
at the
trip.
Palace of Arts and Science, directly at the right, with shelters of gallery of paintings of the monument of Gaston de Fox.
Let me out.
And so our friends begin a sightseeing tour of Milan. You want to join us tomorrow when Greg Marlowe returns from his business meeting at the opera, and we'll hear him say...
And just what hospital is that?
That's tomorrow in the next exciting episode of Mary Backstage Noble Wife. Word Carr speaking. Okay. I'll tell you, those kids are wonderful. They're hard to beat. Next, Mary Backstage Noble Wife. The story of America's favorite family of the Footlights and of their fight for security and happiness against the concrete heart of Broadway. Mary, Harry, Pop, and Calvin are aboard a sightseeing bus touring the city of Milan as Greg Marlowe calls on the manager of La Scala Opera House. And as we join them, we hear...
Well, it's very interesting.
Driver, would you please slow down a little bit? We can't see anything.
Yes.
Thank you. Oh, that's better.
And now we turn to Extreme Center, where we have the famous La Scala Opera House.
Say, there's the La Scala Opera House, Mary.
Oh, driver, could you stop for a minute?
Could you stop?
Yes.
So,
Oh,
Hi.
boy.
Driver, we'd like to get out here. You see, this is where we're
Yes.
going to appear. And could you wait just
Could you
a
wait a few minutes? We get out. We just
Yes.
take a walk
Yeah, he
around,
says he
look
will.
at it. Fine.
Come on, let's
Yes.
step down.
All
here.
right. That's the only word he knows in English.
Yes, I'm afraid it is.
And he must
Yes.
have that speech down, too.
The one he does on the
Yes.
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 Okay.
Boy, oh boy. Don't get so cranky, Mary. Life is so short. Yes, it's nice.
Yes,
I'm
it's
sorry.
beautiful.
You
We'll be
see,
back in just a few minutes, driver.
She's a little upset because
That's
she's
nice.
Yes, that's nice. She's nervous about.
Yes. I wonder where
I'm getting upset myself.
Greg
Yes.
would be.
Oh yes. Get off this bus.
I'm off. Come on, step down, Calvin. That looks like a kind of an office over there to the right of the main entrance. That's probably where Greg is.
Looks like a restaurante to me.
A what?
Beautiful fountain, isn't it?
Yeah, look at the birds around it, too. The doves, I guess. they
Hey,
are.
hold me by the ankles. I'm going to reach in and get some of those coins, will you?
Well, I don't think they want you to do that, Calvin.
Oh, why not? Look, there's $50 in there, and a couple of quarters, and
Well, those are
dimes.
thrown in for good luck, and then they're
Well,
picked up every so often.
turned
And
out it's going to be my good luck if I can reach over there and get some of that money.
here, I'll hold you by your ankles,
Okay,
Calvin.
let me just reach in.
Oh,
hold me.
Oh,
Look at me.
I'm sorry, Calvin.
Oh, brother.
Just slipped, that's all.
Costing all the coin in here to get this suit cleaned and pressed again.
Oh, you are sopping wet. Here.
Oh, it's only ankle deep, but it certainly can ruin the suit.
Oh, yes, it can.
Oh, boy.
Is that the only suit you brought with you?
No, I have another suit. I have one of those sweatsuits I brought for when I go jogging in the morning.
Right, well, we'd better get back to the bus then, and at least you'll be dry. It's good it's warm, anyway.
I think I see Greg in there talking with somebody.
Oh, yeah, he sees us, so we'll wave to him. Hello, Greg.
He's waving for us to come in. I guess he wants us to meet the general manager.
All right. Do you want to wait out here, Calvin?
No, I'll go in, too. I want to meet him the first day.
Well, that's going to make rather a strange impression of you to be soaking wet in his office.
Well, whatever you say.
And so, Mary and Harry find Greg in the office of the manager of La Scala. And tomorrow, they'll go inside, and we'll hear Greg Marlowe say,
Yes, it's La Traviata.
That's tomorrow in the next exciting episode of Mary Backstage Noble Wife. Word Carr speaking. Next, Mary Backstage Noble Wife. The story of America's favorite family of the Footlights and of their fight for security and happiness against the concrete heart of Broadway. It's shortly after yesterday's episode now as Mary, Harry, Pop, and Calvin enter La Scala Opera House in Milan. Greg, already inside, is talking to the general manager about their forthcoming appearance. And as we join them, we hear Mary say,
Isn't this beautiful place?
It's truly breathtaking.
My. It's chilly, though, to be walking in here with a wet suit like I'm wearing.
Yes, does it seem to be drying out any, Calvin?
No, it's getting more clammy. You know, a big empty theater like this is kind of chilly.
Yeah, well, we won't stay too long. I did want to say hello to Greg and see how he's coming.
I'm getting kind of chill. I could
You could catch cold, you know.
I could stand what? You could stand what?
Stand what?
Oh.
What do you mean? What do
Well, I thought maybe a bottle of wine to warm me up a little.
Well,
You won't get any wine here at the Opera House.
maybe when we get back to the hotel.
Why don't you go outside, I thought you would say, and stand in the sun?
That's
Yes.
a good idea, Mary.
Why don't I do that?
All right, go ahead.
I'll stand outside the sun and wait till you folks come out.
Or you could get aboard the bus. He said he'd wait for us.
No, I want to stand in the sun and dry off.
Oh, I see. Good idea. Sure.
Yes, all right then.
Well, we'll
Very
meet you out
good.
front then.
Sure.
I think Greg's over there in that direction,
I don't
isn't he?
should we go in, do you think?
Well, maybe we shouldn't interrupt him if
He's
he's...
probably driving a hard business bargain right now, and I wouldn't want to interrupt.
That's right. At least we know what the opera is we're going to appear in, La Traviata, huh?
I don't think, looking here, that if I raised my voice in song, I could reach that second balcony up there.
Do you want to see if you can project a note back there?
Ooh,
Have to be louder than that.
it's about the loudest I can do.
Let me try. Well, you're not going to sing, Pop. You don't need to do
Well, I
it.
don't know. Maybe he will sing.
You think Mr. Barlow has me in mind for a role?
Sure he does. Too bad Calvin isn't here. He can sound a good note.
You want me to go get him and bring him
I'd like
back?
to hear what he sounds
Okay. Calvin,
What?
step in here a minute.
All right.
Go over there and stand next to Harry and Mary and try a note. See if you can reach the second balcony.
Oh, we just a regular note that I'd sing probably in an opera?
Yeah, just any.
Oh.
That's not bad at all. Give it a little more breath, though.
Wait a minute. Why don't you go up in the third balcony and see if you can hear us, Pop?
Okay,
All right.
I will. Take me a little while to get up there.
Yes.
And so our friends have their first taste of the atmosphere of La Scala Opera House. Tomorrow you want to be here when Greg Marlowe makes a strange announcement. We hear him say,
Well, it's all inked. We're all set to go.
that's tomorrow in the next exciting episode of Mary Backstage Noble Wife. Word Carr speaking. Mary Backstage, Noble Wife. The story of America's favorite family of the footlights and of their fight for security and happiness against the concrete heart of Broadway. Yesterday, our friends got their first glimpse inside La Scala Opera House in Milan and were duly impressed as Greg discussed details of Mary and Harry's forthcoming appearance. Now, a short while later, they stand outside La Scala looking for the sightseeing bus, which appears to be nowhere in sight.
Well, I wonder where he went.
Well, I don't know. He said he'd wait for us, but there's no sign of him around, that's
Yeah.
sure.
Well, it's such a nice afternoon. Maybe we just... do you think we could find our way back to the hotel if we walk?
I think I could. Of course, that bus driver drove so fast getting us here, I didn't have time to note the streets or anything.
You know, did you ever hear of deja vu?
Of who?
Deja vu.
Oh, you mean thinking you've been someplace before?
I have the feeling I've been here before. Maybe in another life.
In Milan?
Oh, for heaven's sakes, don't start that nonsense.
Well, maybe that would help us find our way back to the hotel. Do you know whether you stayed at the Hotel Raphael or not?
This whole thing looks very familiar to me, so why don't you just let me lead the way,
All right.
follow me, and I'll direct you right back to the hotel.
You always did
because,
have a good instinct for direction, I know
I
that.
have that funny feeling I've been here before.
Well, I don't know about that. Which way will we go, then?
You're still wet.
I know it.
Yeah, you're
Chilly,
all wet,
too.
Calvin.
Well, when we get back to the hotel, you can probably change into your, that other rig you have.
Yeah.
Sure, that'll be fine.
Sweatsuit I brought.
I guess Greg will know enough to realize we're back at the hotel and didn't wait for him, huh?
Oh, he can take a cab anyway. Greg is a big-time operator.
Oh, yeah, sure.
He wouldn't want to be walking along the streets peasant style anyway.
He certainly handled this trip well so far, though. Our accommodations on the SS Bagatelle and our hotel suite, they've all been just beautiful.
And not to forget that we are all signed up to appear in La Traviata.
Yes, that's right. I think we're due to open in not too long a time, either.
I don't know when it is.
Wonder where we'll rehearse. Has Greg mentioned that at all, Mary?
I don't know.
What's that?
Has he mentioned where
Not
we
to
might
me.
rehearse the opera?
Not to me. Maybe in the hotel. What is this?
Some kind of a street bazaar.
Yeah.
Wave to the Mary. I think they're...
But that was an American there.
Oh, must have been, yeah.
Rowdies. They're probably from the 7th Fleet.
Well, it could be. You sure you know where we're going, Calvin? Are we going in the right direction?
Don't give it another thought. I know exactly where I'm going. I'm just following my nose by pure instinct. As I say, I've been here before.
Well...
Hey, wait a minute.
What?
What's that fella trying to sell there in that package?
I don't know. Some kind of pasta, maybe?
Yeah. Should we buy some of this stuff so long as we're here?
Well, I suppose so.
Hey, do you accept American money?
And so our friends make their way by foot toward the Hotel Raphael. Or are they headed in the right direction? Be sure and join us on Monday when we'll hear Mary say,
My pocketbook. Where's my pocketbook?
that's Monday in the next exciting episode of Mary Backstage, Noble Wife. Word Carr speaking.
Good to think about the weekend coming up.
Well, at least we're going to get the studio clean for the weekend.
Here he comes. What is his name? Have you found out?
No. Do they have some special shows in here over the weekend that they have to get it all cleaned up, you suppose?
I don't believe so, no.
It's a big vacuum cleaner he has there, isn't it?
Yeah,
Big
he does a
as
nice
that.
job.
Yeah. He probably belongs to one of those commercial companies that goes around cleaning business establishments.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
We should hurry up. We're on the air, you know.
He's always so
Yeah.
happy. That's
He's
the
gone.
thing we
Good
like.
deal.
about him.
Next, Mary Backstage, Noble Wife. The story of America's favorite family of the footlights and of their fight for security and happiness against the concrete heart of Broadway. In our last episode, Mary, Harry, Pop, and Calvin decided to return to their hotel, the Raphael, on foot after visiting La Scala Opera House, where they'll open soon. And it's a short while later now, about half a mile away from the Opera House, as we hear Calvin say,
Yes, sir. You just stay with me. I'll walk you right straight back to the Raphael.
well, it looks like you know the way back, Calvin. I'll say that for you, really making a beeline for someplace. Well, I hope it's the hotel.
Yeah, well,
Yes,
don't
well, I
worry
do, too.
about it. I wish I knew the language. You know, when you...
It's Italian.
Oh, I know it's Italian,
but I mean, I wish I could talk it.
Oh, yes, it would be a big help.
You know, it's a shame when you go away. You miss half the fun.
Well, step on the curb here, Calvin. Watch that. Car's kind of...
Watch where you're going, buddy. Of course, he doesn't know what I'm saying either, probably.
That's right. If he did, he might...
Now, come on, we go down this street now.
How'd you just happen to pick this street, Calvin?
I tell you, I've been here before. I think maybe in another life.
As what? What do you suppose you were? A cat, a dog, something like that?
No, I think I probably was a Roman gladiator.
Either that or maybe a gondolier.
What's that?
Not in Venice, not in Milan. He wouldn't be a...
What's a gondolier?
One of those fellows who poles those boats in the canals in Venice, you know?
Poles the boat? What do you mean, ask you who they're going to vote for?
No, he makes the boat go with a big oar, a single oar.
Oh? I don't think I'm familiar with that.
Well, they're in Venice anyway. They're not here in Milan.
Hey, what?
I just missed it. Mary, you all right?
Where is Mary?
Mary? She was with us a moment ago.
Mary?
Mary? Oh, we'd better stop here. No.
I told her to follow us.
Yes, we were trying to stay together here. We turned right back there at that corner.
Well, we better double back to where we were.
Now, come on, hurry. This is terrible if we've lost Mary, much less...
She doesn't know a word of the language either.
Doesn't know the language, doesn't know where we're going, because we don't either, except Calvin thinks he does.
She couldn't even ask directions.
No, well, maybe she could make herself understood if she could use signal language like she's going to her hotel.
Is that it? No. Thought for a minute that was Mary.
Well, we're up to the end of the street. I don't see her in that direction.
Mary?
I don't see her in that direction. Mary?
Mary?
Well, that's not going to do any good, Calvin. She's certainly too far away from us to hear us call.
This is too bad, isn't it?
Well, why would she do that? We were all walking. Oh, there's a policeman. Maybe he can help us.
Officer? This is backstage. His wife is missing. She was walking...
He's walking away.
He didn't know either.
And so, Harry, Calvin, and Pop look around excitedly, having discovered that Mary is missing. You want to join us tomorrow when we'll hear Greg Marlowe say,
"Where is Mary?"
That's tomorrow in the next exciting episode of Mary Backstage Noble Wife. Word Carr speaking. I'm told to billboard the backstages.
Would you please?
Yes, of course. The backstages will come along right after this. Next, Mary Backstage Noble Wife. The story of America's favorite family of the Footlights and of their fight for security and happiness against the concrete heart of Broadway. Yesterday, as Calvin attempted to lead Mary, Harry, Pop, and himself through the maze of the streets of Milan toward their hotel, Mary became separated from the others. Now, moments later, they stand looking askance as Calvin speaks.
Well, I don't know. I think when we went down this alley here is when we lost her.
Well, that's where we made the right turn here,
Yes,
you mean?
sir.
Well, we've retraced our way back here to this main street.
Has she ever done this before? I mean, you got lost, I remember.
Well, I had amnesia, you remember? After our
Mary's never suffered from amnesia.
No,
she didn't fall or get a hit in the head or anything.
She was with us just moments ago. Well, maybe 5 minutes ago, really. I know.
You don't suppose she'd have stopped off to eat, do you?
Well, I suppose that's an idea. She would have told us, seems to me. This would be the nearest restaurant right here, wouldn't it?
Yeah, let's...
Why don't we go in with her? At least we can look around, see if we can see her. Oh, this is a very attractive place. Doing a good business, too, aren't they? Yeah.
Well, what do you know about this? Very
Mm-hmm.
fancy. They stopped the minute we came in.
They were all looking at us, but... Oh, no, I guess it's all right. They're going back to their meals. Hey, they got good music, too.
Well, so long as we're here, I suppose we might as well eat.
Well, I think finding Mary is the most important thing to say.
Well, I don't see her anywhere.
Hey, I see somebody we know. Isn't that the tour bus driver over there? Maybe he's seen Mary. Maybe she went back to the bus. Well, it's an idea. We can... sir?
Yes.
Do you remember us? I'm Harry Backstage. This is Calvin Hoogerman, our next-door neighbor.
Yes.
And Pop Beloved. Hi.
Yeah.
Yes.
We've seemed to have lost my wife, Mary. We thought possibly she'd come in here to this restaurant.
We took, I thought, I was here before, deja vu. Have you ever heard of that?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's what I thought. And we made the right turn down an alley. We looked back, and Mary was gone. She probably had gone straight ahead.
Just disappeared like that. And we came back here to where we had seen her last, and there's no sign of her. That's why we thought she might have come in here.
What do you mean that's nice? I don't think he understands what we're saying.
No, she didn't go back to the bus, did she?
Yes.
Oh, she did?
did.
Oh, well, now we know where she is. We can sit and eat and relax. She's
Well,
sitting on the bus somewhere.
where's the... Look at that. They've all...
They all trying to hear our conversation, I guess.
Yes, they want to know who we recommend, I guess. Well, if you want to eat, Calvin, I'll join you. I'm kind of hungry myself. Maybe Mary will think that we've gone into a restaurant and come looking for us herself.
I don't know, sir. We'll be a table for three. Yeah, would you get us a table for... Do you work here at the restaurant?
He does. He's the bus driver.
Well, would you show us to a table for three, please?
Yes.
And so Harry, Calvin, and Pop find no trace of Mary in the restaurant, but perhaps they will tomorrow after they have their meal. And we'll hear Calvin say,
No trace of her.
that's tomorrow in the next exciting episode of Mary Backstage Noble Wife. Word Carr speaking. Next, Mary Backstage Noble Wife. The story of America's favorite family of the Footlights and of their fight for security and happiness against the concrete heart of Broadway. Harry, Calvin, and Pop have stepped into a small cafe in Milan, taking time out from their search for Mary, who became separated from them as they were trying to find their way back to the Hotel Raphael. Now, as the head waiter approaches, we hear...
Yes, sir. I wonder if we could have a menu, please. What would you recommend?
Maybe he doesn't speak English, Calvin.
This is a real handicap, isn't it?
Signore. Senora.
That's good.
Is that Spanish or Italian?
Oh, it's pretty much the same. They're both very romantic languages.
Senor, we wish to eat. Do you understand?
Being from Rome, I am a pasta man, and I really, for me, a great dinner is a small appetizer and then a huge dish of pasta.
Oh, good. He does understand us, Calvin.
This fella looks familiar to me. Haven't we bumped into him before?
I think we did at the restaurant at the Hotel Raphael, didn't we?
This guy must work several restaurants in town, and he always pushes his pasta, too.
Maybe he does. You were speaking of pasta, sir?
Do you have any...
And new sauces, and I love rigatoni.
Rigatoni.
Like a sauce that is incredible, but it's so great. So you have a rigatoni.
Uh-huh.
Would you have any egg drop soup or anything like that?
Oh, they wouldn't have anything like that here, Calvin.
Oh.
I think we'd better go on the head waiter's suggestion.
And then you have a lot of heavy cream and basil.
Yeah.
Fresh basil.
Right.
A lot of fresh basil.
Yeah.
A lot of pepper and Parmesan cheese.
Yeah. That goes in the soup, or is that the rigatoni?
Oh, that's the sauce for the rigatoni.
Oh, I get it. So then it's like Parmesan and lots of basil, and but no egg drops. Do you have any sweet and sour pork?
I don't think they'd have that. No.
Because I'm in the
When
mood.
the rigatoni are ready, you just mix them up.
yes,
And you have
right.
the most incredible dish in your life.
I'll bet it is. We'll have that. Let's have that, Calvin.
Well, okay.
Okay.
Butterfly shrimps.
No, they don't have anything. Say, look, there's the tour bus driver over there. We could ask him if he agrees with our order.
We all tried it in this place, and they liked it. And I think
All right.
we're really Italians.
Yeah.
If we liked it, I think everybody else
Right,
would like
we'll
it.
like it. We'll like it.
You've convinced us. You sold us, no doubt about it.
Driver, do you think we should have what the head waiter suggests?
Oh, all right. Very good. Well, then we can relax.
Enough for me.
Well, I was just looking at the date here on the paper. It's a big day back in New York.
It is at that, isn't it?
Yeah. I wonder where they'll have the parade here in Milan.
Well, I don't know. Maybe that's where Mary went. Maybe she...
That's exactly where she went. She knew this is a day they have the big parade, and the green will be flying, and everybody be wearing green carnations.
She always does like parades. I remember the last time we had a 4th of July parade in Skunk Haven. Mary was the first one up and out on the parade ground that day.
Yeah, I love the parade in New York, so let's hurry through this. Say, head waiter, could you tell us where the parade is today here in Milan?
Yes.
Thank you.
And so, Harry, Calvin, and Pop prepare for their light repast before continuing their search for Mary. And you ought to be here tomorrow when we'll hear Calvin say,
Anybody see Pop?
yes. That's tomorrow in the next exciting episode of Mary Backstage Noble Wife. Word Carr speaking. Next, Mary Backstage Noble Wife. The story of America's favorite family of the Footlights and of their fight for security and happiness against the concrete heart of Broadway. With Mary still missing in the land, Calvin has successfully led Harry and Pop back to the Hotel Raphael, where we see them now being greeted by Greg Marlowe, who arrived at their suite before them. We hear Greg.
Well, folks been on the town, have you?
Well, you'll never believe it. We've lost Mary, Greg.
Oh, now don't.
No, it's right, Mr.
Don't try
Marlowe.
to pull my leg. I'm in no mood for jokes.
No, it's
I've just
true,
come
Greg.
from a very trying negotiation with the productori at the opera.
Well, you see, when we left, we went to see the opera. We saw the opera house. Mary
Isn't
was
it
with
beautiful?
us. Oh, it is. It's beautiful.
It is.
We started to walk back. Calvin here said he knew the way back. And after several successful attempts, he found the way back.
You know, Mr. Marlowe, did you ever hear of deja vu? Yeah, you mean the sense of being someplace before, or everything looks, similar, or...
Like you've been there before. Well, Calvin felt that way. He had the deja vu.
And I said, I've been here before, and I know just where the hotel is. Follow me. And they did, and here we are.
Well, on the way, we lost Mary. She strayed away from us
Well,
somewhere.
she knows. She's a grown woman. She knows the hotel where we are. Maybe she's shopping. Now,
suppose
here's
so.
the thing. We're going to do La Traviata. Mary will play Violetta. Are you familiar with La Traviata at all?
No, I've got the bone up on it, Greg.
I visualize you as Alfredo. You sing tenor, don't you?
Tenor, yes. You got a part for me in it, Mr. Marlowe?
Well, the
Calvin
next
here?
major part is Germont, or Germont. I don't know how that's pronounced. And it's a baritone, and either Calvin here or Pop will play that part. Well, I have a lovely baritone voice.
I'm more of a
told.
tenor myself, so I wouldn't be able to play that.
Well, let me
part.
just pencil in Calvin then for the part of Germont. I'll just write that in.
What part did you say I'll be playing again?
You'll be Alfredo.
Alfredo, uh-huh.
Alfredo.
And Mary will be...
Violetta.
Violetta.
You know, the story, La Traviata, familiar with it?
No, I'm not.
Well, Giuseppe Verdi wrote this back about 1853 or so.
Joe Green, you mean?
Translated out in English, it is Joe Green. I never thought of it that way. Giuseppe is Joseph and Verdi is Green. Yeah, Joe Green. Now I get it. Oh, yeah. Deja vu almost, isn't it? No,
Go ahead with the story, Greg. I'm getting very interested. What happened?
Well, you see, La Traviata, basically, you're familiar with the story of Camille?
Not too well. Yes, just a bit.
Well,
it's based on that.
It's an opera that's based on Camille. And Violetta is the heroine, and she's the lead. And it's a wonderful place. As a matter of fact, when it first opened, it was a big flop, you know.
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they just weren't ready for that story in the so-called modern dress back there in 1853.
Well, when are we going to begin rehearsals, Greg, and when do we open?
Well, we open, let me see, it's one thing I didn't discuss. Was it the 2nd of April?
2nd of April on that paper there.
I have all these papers, yeah, April 2.
Well, that's 2 weeks from tomorrow.
April 2, the opera opens. With Mary playing Violetta, Harry backstage as Alfredo, and Calvin Hoogeveen as Germont.
And so Greg apparently has finalized his deal with La Scala for Mary, Harry, Pop, and Calvin to open 2 weeks from tomorrow. And you ought to be with us tomorrow when we'll hear Greg say,
Still no sign of Mary.
That's tomorrow in the next exciting episode of Mary Backstage Noble Wife. Word Carr speaking. Next, Mary Backstage Noble Wife. The story of America's favorite family of the Footlights and of their fight for security and happiness against the concrete heart of Broadway. In the backstage suite at the Hotel Raphael in Milan, Greg has told Harry, Calvin, and Pop that rehearsals begin Monday for their appearance at La Scala Opera House in La Traviata. Mary is still missing, and it's a few minutes after yesterday's episode now as we join her.
Well, here's the thought I had, Greg. Supposing we don't find Mary, and Pop has the sweetest voice, he could sing the part of Violetta.
Me play the part of Violetta?
Well,
Pop, I don't think you have the type voice that would...
Well, he does have a nice voice.
But
Yes, he has a good voice. But
I don't think he could. I don't think he could carry it off.
no, I think it's bad enough that the Backstages, if we can find Mary, will be starring in this thing when they've never sung opera before anyway.
All this speculation on whether we'll find Mary or not, I think, is foolish. She's a grown woman. She knows we're here at the Hotel Raphael. I'm sure nothing has happened to her. It's just a few hours ago where you made a right turn. She kept going straight.
Right.
It's that simple.
I wonder if she knows how to use these Italian telephones so she could get in touch with us if she wanted to.
What's so different about the
Yeah, why can't she?
Italian telephones?
Well, I just thought they were different. All of the numbers probably in Italian, aren't they?
No. One is one no matter where you go.
Just the same.
They're all Arabic numerals.
Well, that's what I mean. Maybe she can't read Arabic.
Well, you read Arabic. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Those are Arabic. Didn't you know that?
Arabic.
Oh, I thought it was Arabic. Oh.
Yes, I can read those, but... Well, I guess... Arabic.
Oh.
I guess she could call us then.
Well, I always thought that was Arabic.
Well, I wish
Arabic
she would.
Numerals.
I wish she would call us.
It's Arabic numerals. Yeah, I understand that.
It's Arabic, Calvin.
Kind of like deja vu. It's nothing.
Has
Nothing like deja vu.
Nothing to do with deja vu.
Right.
Well, I wish she would call anyway. It's beginning to worry me no end not to hear from Marion this long.
You would think, though, so long as we're here in Italy, that the dial would have Roman numerals.
Yeah, well, in Rome, maybe it does. We're in Milan.
I know, but they use the Roman numerals all over this whole archipelago. It's like deja vu, you know.
All over this
It isn't like deja vu.
Has nothing to do with deja vu.
With deja vu.
What kind of an archipelago did you say we were in?
An Italian archipelago.
Oh, I don't think you'd call this an archipelago.
Well, what is an archipelago by definition?
Well, I don't know. It's a series of islands, isn't it? Or connecting lands, or...
Well, all I know is Indonesia is an archipelago.
That's right.
And there's a lot of islands there.
Nearby islands of Rinja, Padar, and Flores.
Not to mention Bali and Sumatra.
Wait a minute. I think I heard someone knocking on the door.
I didn't hear anything.
I didn't hear anything. I was
You know
talking
what that
about...
is?
What?
Deja vu.
No, it isn't
You
deja.
thought you heard it? You've been here in this room before.
Yes, I've been here before when we checked in. And so, no further information of Mary's disappearance has reached our friends. You want to join us on Monday when rehearsals begin at La Scala, and we'll hear Greg Marlowe say...
Pop, if you would now sing O Mio Rimorso, please.
That's Monday in the next exciting episode of Mary Backstage Noble Wife. Word Carr speaking. Mary Backstage Noble Wife, the story of America's favorite family of the Footlights and of their fight for security and happiness against the concrete heart of Broadway. Today, rehearsals for La Traviata are due to begin at La Scala Opera House in Milan. And with Mary still missing, Harry, Calvin, and Pop arrived only moments ago to be greeted by Greg Marlowe, who says...
Any sign of Mary?
Not a bit, Greg. We're terribly worried about her.
Well, I should imagine so. Till she gets here, though, I thought maybe we could go over a little bit of the story.
Yes,
I was explaining to you, La Traviata is based on the old Dumas play, The Camellias.
I wonder if you can have those carpenters stop. I can't hear you very well.
Well, they have to continue building the sets. Now, you see, in Act 1, the overture, the orchestra will be right down there.
Right there, I see.
You see that, Pop?
Yes. Yeah, I see it.
And do you see it, too?
Is that the prompter's box there in the middle?
Yes, that's right.
Because he may have a lot to do with Mary and Harry in the opera.
Hey, that's very interesting. And then where would I make my entrance? Well, just one thing at a time.
Yes.
Now, you see, the overture begins with the tragic melody that's descriptive of Violetta's fatal illness. Now, of course, Mary will play Violetta. Hey, will you watch it, please, buddy?
We're trying to concentrate on the libretto over here.
I don't think they understand. They don't know English, you know.
I know they don't.
What's so funny? You almost scared me half to death. Now,
go back again a little bit.
All right, I say the overture will begin with the tragic melody that is descriptive of Violetta's fatal illness.
This whole thing is rather a sad opera, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Oh, my, yes.
Oh, I'm learning more and more.
But everybody leaves the theater humming the songs, don't they? Not exactly.
That's usually the case of... hey, happy
Would
songs.
you watch it, please?
Oh, I don't think we can rehearse here with all of this noise going on.
They just throw up their hands and give me the horse laugh. I'm trying to be serious. I'm trying to explain to these people about the opera.
They're just making sport of you guys. They're not paying any attention whatsoever.
I think they're taking advantage of the language barrier.
They're certainly having a good time as they put the scenery together.
They just, shrug their shoulders and do this.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
Well, anyway.
What the heck are they doing now?
Can't you do that?
I thought there was supposed to be a time for rehearsal for the stars and a time for the stagehands.
Now, the overture begins with the tragic melody that is descriptive.
I know of Violetta's fatal illness. You told us that 3 times.
It's a sad opera, in other words.
And later it's fully developed into the hauntingly beautiful introduction to the last act. Now, of course, if Mary doesn't show up by tomorrow, then, Pop, I'll have to ask you to take Violetta's part.
Well, you're not going to open until a week from Friday. She'll show up by that time.
But until she gets here, you'll play Violetta.
I'll just kind of stand in for Violetta, okay?
Now, after the overture, the curtain will rise.
And so Greg continues to fill in Harry, Calvin, and Pop on the details of La Traviata, due to open a week from Friday at La Scala. And you ought to be here tomorrow when we'll hear Calvin say,
"Oh, you mean to tell me Violetta dies in the end?"
That's tomorrow in the next exciting episode of Mary Backstage Noble Wife. Word Carr speaking. Next, Mary Backstage Noble Wife. The story of America's favorite family of the Footlights and of their fight for security and happiness against the concrete heart of Broadway. Although Harry, Calvin, Pop, and Greg haven't heard from Mary, rehearsals for their appearance in La Traviata began yesterday at La Scala. Now it's later the same day, and in the backstage suite at the Hotel Raphael, our friends discuss what to do next.
Well, the thing is this, that we can't take another step until we find Mary.
Well, that's right. I think
it's a little too long now. I think she's missing. It's a case now for the authorities.
And it's very obvious that Pop can't play Mary's role, Violetta, whatever it is, in the show. It's just impossible. Won't work.
Well, I think you're right in that respect.
Yeah, you certainly are. I don't want to play a lady's part anyway. I'd like to be the part of the old beggar, I think. Something like I did in Tale of Two Cities.
Yeah, that was a good... You were terrific. I remember you were critically acclaimed for your portrayal of the beggar.
Yes, I was. I don't know whether there's a part like that in La Traviata, though.
Well, maybe they could write one in. They do that in a lot of Broadway shows, If a friend of the producer comes along, they say, "Oh, let's write her in. Let's find a nice little part for her."
Yes, right.
Maybe they could do that in La Traviata.
Yeah, that might be.
It's showbiz. Look at here. I mean, it's all who you know and things like that. The whole world spins on clout.
Right.
Sure.
Well, we've still got to think of how we're going to find Mary. Who can we turn to, Greg?
Well, I'd call the... Oh, you're talking to Greg. I'm sorry. I was thinking, of course, we could call the police, but we have this language barrier. I just can't make myself understood to a cab driver, never mind an investigatory police officer.
A what?
Investigatory police officer.
Is that Italian, Miss Barlow?
That's about as much Italian as I can say.
Investigatory?
Yes.
Investigatory.
I can say fettuccine, which is quite Italian, I've been told. Oh, that's a good one. The Cavatelli.
La Scala. Uh-huh.
Yeah, La Scala. Rigatoni is Italian, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But those are all pastas. I mean, you can't call up the police and rattle off a list of pastas to the police officer.
No, I wonder if we called a travel agent. They must be able to speak English. So
where do you want to go?
Well, I don't want to go anywhere, but they might be able to help us find Mary.
Well, I never heard of calling a travel agency to find somebody who's busy.
Well, that's kind of locking the barn door after the horse is stolen.
That's the funniest thing I've heard all day. That's a riot.
What do you mean, locking the barn door after the horse is stolen?
Well, it's kind of like a deja vu thing.
Oh, no, it's nothing to do with deja vu. It's just that it's too late to do anything about the horse after he's been stolen. You might as well lock the barn door then.
Listen, I have a thought. I think this might be the thing for us to do.
What's that, Greg?
What we should do is go to the American Embassy and explain our situation to them, and they could place us in the direct, or could tell us who to see.
Well, are you sure they speak English there?
Where?
At the American Embassy?
Are you kidding, Harry?
And so, our friends hit upon the idea of contacting the American Embassy in Milan. will they be able to help them find Mary? Join us tomorrow when we'll hear Greg Marlowe say,
Yes, and she's been missing now several days.
that's tomorrow in the next exciting episode of Mary Backstage Noble Wife. Word Carr speaking. Next, Mary Backstage Noble Wife. The story of America's favorite family of the Footlights and of their fight for security and happiness against the concrete heart of Broadway. Today we look in on Greg and Harry continuing the search for Mary with only 4 days remaining before their scheduled opening at La Scala. And at the corner of Galano and Janice, we hear Greg say,
Well, I don't think we're making much headway finding the American consulate this way.
Gee whiz,
You know, Harry, I've just thought if...
Hey, here, sit down here on this bench, Greg.
It's good
We must have walked 5 miles this afternoon.
see, I have a booklet here of phrases. Let's see. Piedi mi fanno male.
What's that?
My feet hurt.
Oh, yeah, mine too. Good to
I
rest.
was thinking, Harry, supposing our friends find the consulate, how will they contact us?
Calvin and Pop, you mean?
Yeah.
They were supposed to contact us back at the hotel, back at the Raphael.
And I think if we go to the consulate, how will we get a hold of them?
That's right. We have
Will we
no
do
way.
the same thing?
We
Go back
have
to the hotel?
I guess we'll have to do that.
I don't mean to complicate things, Harry.
No.
You know, we're in a foreign country, and you have to think differently when you're not at home.
That's right. We've got to do some heavy thinking. Oh, I thought he was going to hit us then.
Non capisco.
What's that?
I don't understand.
Oh.
I have this little phrase book,
Oh.
and I'm trying to pick up my Italian.
Oh, well, give me a few phrases, see if I can figure out what you're saying.
All right. Let me stretch out here a little on this bench.
Yeah.
Desidero?
Huh?
Desidero.
What does that mean?
I want.
Uh-huh.
Yes, you try
So
something
I've
on me.
got an awful lot of boning up to do before opening Friday at La Scala. We haven't even had a rehearsal yet. What'll happen if we don't
Worry,
find
worry.
Mary? Huh?
Don't give it a thought. I have as much faith in you, Harry, as any producer has in any performer. I know the minute the curtain goes up Friday night at La Scala, you'll sing your heart out. I have no fears about it. And I know that we'll have Mary, and I know that Pop and Calvin, the whole gang, will just acquit themselves beautifully.
Have you signed anything with the Opera House saying that we definitely will be there and will be opening Friday? And
Do you want a swig of this wine?
yes, I don't mind if I do. It might help relax things a little
It's
bit.
relaxed me completely. You know, for a while there, I was quite concerned about the upcoming opening, and I don't know, suddenly now it doesn't seem that complicated
Well,
to me.
that's easy enough for you to say. You're not the one that has to go out on that stage and sing an opera on Friday.
Well, I'm the
evening.
one who has to go and talk to the productori. The productori.
Produce.
The produce.
Signor Produce.
Right.
Yes,
See,
that's true. That's probably more important when you think
Here,
of it.
let me have that back again.
Yeah, here.
No, the bottle.
Oh. And so Harry and Greg sit discussing the forthcoming opening at La Scala. And Mary is still missing. Be sure and join us tomorrow when we'll hear Calvin say,
Is there anything left in that, Pop?
that's tomorrow in the next exciting episode of Mary Backstage Noble Wife. Word Carr speaking. Next, Mary Backstage Noble Wife. The story of America's favorite family of the Footlights and of their fight for security and happiness against the concrete heart of Broadway. Harry and Greg have had no luck in their attempt to find the American consulate in Milan to seek help in finding Mary. And we see them now as they return to their suite at the Hotel Raphael, and we hear...
Well, guess we're on a full errand.
Hi,
there.
Greg, Harry.
Oh, hi.
Wow.
How long you folks been back here?
Oh, about half an hour.
About 40 minutes, I guess.
Well,
we gave up. We got into one of those pool rooms by mistake.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And look, I made a neat little bundle of Money.
Hey.
Played rotation with some guy there, and I cleaned up.
Quite a stack of lira there.
Well, congratulations.
We gave up, too.
But this is their paper money.
Yes, right.
I think lira is the paper money.
Oh, I didn't understand.
Yes, it is.
Oh, I see.
No sign of the consulate from your direction, huh? No, we couldn't find it.
Sat there on the bench and tried to think what we should do, and I'm lost.
Yes, we both are, and Mary certainly is. Well, that's right.
I don't know what we're laughing about.
No, I don't either.
La Traviata opens when?
Opens this coming Friday.
This?
I've got
This Friday?
That's right. That's only 3 days away, and we haven't even had one rehearsal yet.
Suddenly, I'm beginning to be concerned again. Do you have any wine here?
Yeah, I've got some over here, Mr. Barlow.
Oh, good. That always helps me when I'm concerned.
Well, I have to say I'm concerned, too, but...
I'm not too concerned, but I'll join you anyway.
Well, I certainly hope we'll hear from Mary, at least today or tomorrow, so that we can have at least one rehearsal before Friday night's opening. Say when, Mr. Barlow.
That should do it. Thank you.
How about you, Harry? Yeah, sure. I just can't think of any way to go about finding Mary. It seems to me she would have phoned us by now.
Look, she'll show up. I know she will. She's a very dependable person.
Is that enough, Harry? Yes, I guess it is.
Sure, she's a very dependable person.
She knows we're opening, at least, and she's never missed an opening yet, to my knowledge.
No, sir. And I've been producing a lot of...
Oh, wait a minute. There's the phone. Maybe that'll be some news. Well, I hope so. Hello?
Hello?
Mary!
Yes, Harry.
Harry, yes. Where are you? We've been looking all over Milan for you.
You'd never believe what happened to me.
Well, tell us.
No, I can't tell you over the telephone. They may be listening.
They may be listening.
Yes.
Who do you mean?
Well, I can't say over the telephone.
Well, where are you, Mary?
I'm not sure exactly. I'm here in Milano. Do you have the music for the opera? Because I want to come back there and rehearse.
Well, Greg has the libretto and the music and everything right here, yes.
Good. Well, then I'll take you. What's the hotel? I had forgotten.
The Raphael.
Raphael Hotel.
It's the corner of Janice and Galano.
All right. Well, I've been down here at the Favuzzi Beauty Parlor having my hair done in a bouffant style.
Well, you'd better get over here as quickly as you can, Mary. My, this is good news. And so, Harry hears from Mary at long last, and she prepares to return to the Hotel Raphael. Tomorrow rehearsals begin, and you'll want to be here when we'll hear Greg Barlow saying,
Wow, Madame Favuzzi did some job on your hair.
That's tomorrow in the next exciting episode of Mary Backstage Noble Wife. Word Carr speaking. Mary Backstage Noble Wife, the story of America's favorite family of the Footlights and of their fight for security and happiness against the concrete heart of Broadway. With only 2 days left before their scheduled opening at La Scala Opera House in Milan, Mary at last reached Harry by telephone in our last episode. And now, seconds later, still on the phone, we hear... Mary?
Yes?
How far away are you from us right now?
Now... say that again. How far are you from me?
Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from the beauty parlor out here at the Lucia Caterina Favuzzi Beauty Parlor, where she just done my hair beautifully in a big bouffant.
She says she's still at the beauty parlor. Greg, Calvin, Pop.
What did she say?
Still at the beauty parlor.
Is she there for a major job or what?
Well, she's had a bouffant job. Mary?
Yes?
Are you ready to leave the beauty parlor and go
I
back?
heard what he said. I'm not here for a major job at the beauty parlor. I heard what he said. I don't think that's very kind.
Well, did she do your hair in a fashion that'll work in the opera Friday night?
I'm sorry, I was talking to somebody.
Do you have a hairdo that will look well in the opera, La Traviata?
Because Miss Favuzzi is an expert on getting people ready for the opera.
What's she
That is
saying,
performers.
She says that Signora Favuzzi is an expert at getting performers ready to appear in the opera.
She says, hello.
Yes,
I thought I was cut off there.
No, I can hear you perfectly.
These phones are difficult. They're altogether different than what we have back in Skunk Haven.
Well, what's different about them?
Well, they're different shapes.
You can see, Harry, you're holding
numbers
one.
are different.
Oh, right, yes. Major job, huh?
It is funny now that I think of it.
I did wonder how soon you'd be able to get back here to the hotel, Mary, so we can start rehearsals. It's only 2 days before we open, you know.
Well, it's all up to them.
Up to who?
I can't say over the telephone. I know I'm sounding very mysterious, but that's the way it is.
Well,
I can't tell you who's listening. I can't tell you who I've been with for the past few days. All I can say is this, that my hair is beautiful, and I'll be all set when the curtain goes up. Is it Friday?
Yes.
When the curtain goes up on the opera.
Day after tomorrow, we open in La Traviata.
Uh-huh.
Well, can you get a taxi and get over here to the hotel?
What's he keep laughing at anyway?
I don't know. What do you keep laughing at, Calvin?
Well, just, going to the beauty parlor, and I asked if it was a major job. It's kind of like deja vu.
It isn't anything like
No, it's nothing like deja vu at all.
It isn't anything like rack and pinion either.
No, it isn't.
So sick of hearing about rack and pinion.
Wait, hello?
Yes.
What was Pop talking about?
Talking about rack and pinion.
Who are they?
No, it's a type of steering mechanism that some of our automobiles use.
What in the world are you talking about? Here I'm getting my hair done, and you're talking about a steering mechanism.
And so Harry continues his conversation with Mary as she prepares to leave the beauty shop and return to Hotel Raphael. Tomorrow, the day before their opera debut begins, we'll hear Calvin say,
I don't know about my throat.
That's tomorrow in the next exciting episode of Mary Backstage Noble Wife. Word Carr speaking. Next, Mary Backstage Noble Wife. The story of America's favorite family of the Footlights and of their fight for security and happiness against the concrete heart of Broadway. In the backstage suite at Milan's Hotel Raphael, Harry, Greg, Calvin, and Pop are awaiting Mary's arrival and the chance to begin rehearsals for their appearance at the opening of La Traviata at La Scala tomorrow evening. And we hear Greg say,
Say, does the TV set work in this room?
I don't know. We haven't spent that much time here, Greg.
Well, I turned on the TV the other night. They had on a Western.
Oh, really?
But it was all in a foreign tongue.
Well, Italian, probably. Yes, they dub in Italian on those.
It's funny to hear the Indians talk Italian.
Haven't come across the Komodo Dragon show yet, have you?
Well, I haven't watched too much of the TV. They have your game show, of course.
Yeah, sure.
And they don't have anything like the Komodo Dragon program, no, sir.
They have anything like Let's Make a Deal?
Is there any more of that wine left?
I think there's just a little bit here. Yeah, sure.
Well, it's when you get a chance, if you could pour me a glass of that, I'd appreciate it.
Gosh, I wish Mary would arrive. She said she would take a cab and get over here right away so we could start rehearsing. I'm beginning to get worried about tomorrow night.
Yes.
Just say when.
Yeah, I will.
What are we going to wear, Greg? We haven't had any costume fitting or anything.
Don't worry about it. They all have your sizes. You're a 38 long, aren't you? Or
yes.
Regular.
Regular would be all right.
And I'm about a 44 regular.
Say when, Calvin.
I will. And Mary, she must be about a 38 long.
38 long or regular, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose.
She should be getting here any minute. Can't wait to see her full front hairdo.
That's enough for me.
Okay. How about you, Mr. Barlow?
Yes, I'll have just a taste.
Okay. Say when.
Right.
Wait a minute. That may be Mary now. I'll go and let her in. Door's stuck. Mary, is that you?
What?
The door is stuck. Is that you, Mary?
Yes, it's stuck. Can't you open it?
Glad you made it. Oh, here. Well,
hello
hey, Mary. Welcome back.
Certainly good to see you. Boy, where have you been anyway?
Ever relieved to see you and that hairdo.
What do you think of it?
Signora Favuzzi did a beautiful job.
Yeah, she says she does all the hairstylists for the opera singers.
That's really bouffant, isn't it?
Don't move, Mary. I want to remember you this way.
What do you mean by that, Greg?
I mean, you're simply beautiful.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Marlowe. You're very kind.
Sounded kind of ominous there for a minute.
Boy, let me see, Mary. I've never seen you with a hairstyle like that. It must be about 3 feet around, isn't it? Looks like a football helmet.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Beautiful.
Why are you saying these things to Calvin?
Well, I don't know. I tell you, Mary, I'm worried sick about the opening of the opera, you know. We open Friday,
And as you know, I don't sing very well.
And we haven't had one run-through yet, Greg. When are we going to have our first rehearsal?
We'll have cue cards there Friday night.
And so Mary returns at last to the Hotel Raphael, and rehearsals begin seriously. Tomorrow, the curtain rises on La Traviata, and you'll want to be here when we'll hear Greg Marlowe say,
"Any more of that wine there?"
That's tomorrow in the next exciting episode of Mary Backstage Noble Wife. Word Carr speaking.